What it do, y'all? Welcome back. It's a Miller Mastered It. Today we'll be watching the great Willie D. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to your crew, and shout out to you for posting this video for us to react to. So in this, you'll be interviewing Katt Williams. This is post Shannon Sharp show. So this actually posted today, January 9th. Sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Laritha, once again. But this was posted here on the 9th of January. So we're gonna take a look, watch this together, and let's see what they talking about today, fam. I know it's a lot of talk around, like, you know, I mean, basically Katt is getting a lot of heat. He's getting a lot of people talking about it. I mean, can't blame him, man. Can't get mad at him from speaking his mind, speaking his heart. But let's see what he say on here, Willie D. Did he calm down a little bit? Is he turned up even more? Let's see what he got to say, bro. I mean, I want to hear his point of view, so finna get into it right now. All right, let's pull this up. And
instructions to help you navigate through this wild, crazy, beautiful world. In the studio, Katt Williams. What's up,
Thank
King?
you. How are you, sir?
Oh, man, one more hop, I'll be on top. How
Prepare
about you?
for your hop. Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great,
Bro,
man.
so-
Cleveland, Ohio.
Dayton, Ohio. Cincinnati,
but
Ohio.
where you, I mean, see, my bad. You were born in Cincinnati.
Yep. I was
And
born
then
in
you were
Cincinnati.
raised in Dayton.
And raised in Dayton, correct.
Man.
Yeah.
you don't want to set him off already, bro. You said corrected, nigga. I'm from motherfucking, what do you say, Cincinnati, Dayton?
You know, we had a show in Dayton once, and it almost like provoked a full-blown riot. You know, in Dayton, they had these cops with these big old 10-gallon hats,
They did.
big old white cornbread-fed dudes, and they were telling us, y'all gonna either pay for all of this equipment that y'all destroyed on the stage. We destroyed, allegedly, we destroyed equipment, band equipment that belonged to After 7 and Troop.
Oh, my.
Out of respect for y'all time, for me to not make it seem like I'm just watching the whole video like minute to minute, I'm gonna just jump straight. I'm just gonna jump to parts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can catch the entire interview over on Willie D's channel, Willie D Live on YouTube. Shout out to the brother again. So let's see. Let's get back into it.
We want to say
Very powerful family in Dayton just because of our sheer numbers. So there were 13 on my father's side and 7 on my mother's side. So I had like 100 first cousins in one city. Like, we just had a large family, and it was a great place for black people, and it was a great place for white people. It's just that you really couldn't be legitimately racist because your neighbors were of another color, if that makes sense. So,
what's the power dynamic? Was it mostly white people running it or black people?
well, that's the dynamic of America at that particular time.
It's still white folks.
One of my uncles was the chief of police. Another was the head pastor in town, and, you know, had some cocaine dealing uncles as well. So we were really rooted in the city, but it was a city of money. So we had Cooper Tires, we had Dayton Tires, we had IBM, we had NCR, we had Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, we had University of Dayton. These are all places where you can make 6 figures even at that time. So it was a lot of money there. As far as on the radio, we would hear every hour 5 or 6 artists that were from where we were from. So we thought that was a part of it. We hearing the Ohio players and
Let me just jump ahead a little bit. Pretty much giving his backstory.
that's what
I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all already know that.
I
They actually fuck with Katt.
across the country. So it can't be called run away because I didn't run away. Um, I left, but I don't tell that part of the story just because there's a zero chance that if a young person listens to me and follows my example on that they'll be okay. But I knew I would be, but I was a little off. Like I knew Jesus left home at 13, so I didn't feel like I was out of pocket in any way.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that at 13 years old you was cognizant of the story of Jesus leaving home at 13 years old?
I had been accepted to college before I was 12, so I was already a little bit more advanced than.
Damn shoulder, but I'm gonna start the damn video. Let me go ahead and jump ahead a
Guy
little bit.
or a person that you looked up to and you said, I like the way that they move and I want to model myself after that person?
Yeah, this is gonna be a weird answer. Yes, that's one of the things that I was probably the best at. I did it with anybody and everybody. So when I was going to the library, I wasn't reading fiction books. I was reading nonfiction books, and it didn't matter what it was. I know whatever's in this book, I don't know what it is. So I might have read like 1,000 autobiographies, just the life of people that I don't know. And when you do that, you find out that if you were trying to learn something from everybody, you could actually learn something from every single person that you met. And so it's that type of thinking that helped me avoid the pitfalls as I saw them. So the reason I never did drugs when I was an adult is because when I left and went to Miami and I'm living in a park, it's 30 people out there from all different places, and they all are homeless and in a terrible situation just like me. And they telling me that they used to be lawyers and doctors and nurses, and I'm going, well, what happened? And all of them is telling this story where everything in their life was fine, and then they dealt with this drug, and this is where it ended them out. So as a kid, I never saw the fun part of drugs. I never heard about nobody having a good time on drugs or, oh, you got to take
Once you
this so
come
you can
down from that
feel
high,
up. I didn't see it from that way. I had already seen what it would do to people, and they're telling me, like, I'm letting people tell me, hey, don't do this. Don't get to Hollywood and start sleeping with white women and doing cocaine because it'll kill you. Huh, yeah, no problem. Got it. So, in a lot of things, I was just stupid enough to get the.
let me just pause it right here, fam. I'm not even gonna hold you. Um, this is the only thing I got a problem with. It's this constant reiteration of I've never done drugs. Ever. I mean, you've tried at least weed, you've tried something. Pills, liquor, something, nigga. Don't sit here and say you've never taken a drug a day in your life just because you want to put over the helm of, oh, well, weed technically isn't a drug, bro. Look, let me tell you first fucking hand, alright? That shit will have you paranoid as fuck, bro. Really think about that shit. You waking up every day feeling that you need to smoke, or it's just a habit that you have and shit. And now you can't even function properly because you got all these thoughts eating your ass alive because you thinking the weirdest possible scenarios, some shit that motherfuckers not even thinking. This is just you. You're paranoid. So weed can definitely fuck with you. Too much of anything ain't good for you. You can drink too much water and die. But that's all I want to say about that though. But let's get back to it.
Lessons, but that came from being willing to learn something from everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long were you out on the streets?
Well, it sounds so harsh when you say on the streets. Just understand that I'm in slacks and a shirt and a tie every day, and I'm eating at a five-star restaurant because I done worked this deal with the restaurant where I
Hmm.
come in at 5 in the morning and I come and do the floors and clean up everything the bus people didn't do, knock out the old dishes. I do all of that, but I get to eat there for free. So I
Hmm.
come later and have a five-star lunch as a 12-year-old because I'm already smoking cigarettes, but I got a mustache, so
Damn.
I don't look out of place. And then I go and I do my 8 hours in the library to take the place of what schooling would have been. So
Reading the books.
two
Okay.
hours were spent collecting radios from people's cars at the marina, which funded me to at least have $700 or $800 a week in my pocket. So that was the situation
You gotta do
for,
what you
I'll
gotta do.
say, 12 months.
Selling
Was
folks
there
radio.
somebody who came along, a social worker or something like that, and saw you and said, yo, or talked to you? It's like, yo, I can help you out. Or you should do this or that.
No, you're looking at it a different way than I was looking at it. I wasn't in a pitiable situation by any means. I was free. And it was an adventure that I was on. And I had already read all of these books. I know how this goes. I know that a terribly scary adventure is nothing for the warrior. He doesn't need to be in a good position. There is a God, and He's going to see you through. You just have to make sure that you're hitting the marks to qualify for the blessing. So I was never in a situation where someone would think that I needed some assistance.
Where were you sleeping at?
In the park that I told you
You
about
was
across the street from the library in Coconut Grove.
like on the ground, on the bench?
No, they had a mattress out there. I had money, so people would get you stuff.
Why didn't you just take your money and go get a crib?
At 13? It
Yeah.
never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Never crossed my mind.
Because I really do. I know it's young, but I do know people who are very young. If somebody is young enough to go out on the streets and just say I'm leaving home,
Yeah.
a lot of times, and
Hey,
they,
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That's a hell of a venture to take, bro. I know a homie of mine was fixing to leave his mom's crib. He had left her a letter and everything. He was like, shit, I'm finna just take my talents to New York or something. I mean, shit, he doing big things now, bro. Shout out to bro. He definitely doing shit now, bro, with his music thing. But I remember when he was younger, bro, because he had a twin and shit. And he passed R.I.P. to John and shit. But I remember it was one point that he was really finna leave home. He had wrote his mom a note and everything. Like, bro, you gotta be fed up as a motherfucker if you damn near finna just leave the crib. We was young, probably like what, 14, 15 or something. Ready to just bounce. Said, fuck this, I'm out. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, don't leave the crib yet, bro. Like, shit. Even we knew back then, bro. He was like, bro, you can't leave yet, bro. He ain't just finna be out here just wild, just taking a chance and shit. But this nigga Katt said he was out on the motherfucking street at 13, fuck. I couldn't imagine leaving the crib at 13, bro. I know damn well I wasn't ready for the world, dog. Damn sure wasn't sleeping on no fucking streets, bro. Fuck that shit. That's the last resort, bro. For real, but that's some soldier shit, bro. Better than me. That's all I can say. Shit.
they got money, they're savvy enough to
It's not
get
that I
somebody
have
to pay
money.
them.
I'm making some money. I
Okay.
don't have money. I'm making some money.
Enough to get by.
Well, I'm saying I don't have a long list of needs on the daily. I need to eat well. I need to drink well.
And where are you keeping your money? Like in your pocket?
I am.
Yeah.
I
Anybody ever try to rob you?
am. No, I I did have somebody try to violate me while I was out there. Um, I think because I didn't know really what gay people were, so I wasn't really clear. I knew how gay people acted as I had seen, but wasn't aware that it had a sexual connotation to it. So as soon as the guy kept talking to me like he liked me, I was really confused because guys don't like guys. And I'm trying to figure
Right.
out, is there something about your background that makes you talk like a lady while you're talking to me? But yeah, I had that as a situation. But other than that, no, I wasn't frequently tried as a young person.
Yeah. So I'm asking some of these questions that I'm asking because I'm really trying to figure out like how did you develop your psyche? Like you're a very insightful dude.
Right.
Just trying to figure out like where did that start at? Can you pinpoint a specific time and space where you said, you know, yeah, I get it. I see what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. I probably like 5 years old.
Hmm.
Um, First and foremost, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I believed at that young age that you could have a relationship with God. And I know that that's kind of old fashioned now. Um, but when I was young, that's what I believed. And so I developed this relationship where we talk 4 or 5 times a day and we talk about everything. And I'm coming to you when things are well and when it's not well. And if I ask for something, I know when you gave me what I asked for because it's the only time. So I understood at a young age that I wasn't like everybody else, that I
Mm.
was in a blessed position, and that I had the ability to be able to make things happen if I could find the instructions and follow them. So um, at 5 years old, that's how I thought. I knew when things were wrong with the Bible. I wasn't worried about authority because God was like the authority. And other than that, I got to tolerate you, but I'm not allowed to bow down. I'm like that as a child. So my parents didn't do anything wrong. They just wanted me to live a life that I wasn't going to live. They wanted me to be this, and I was not free to live a double life. I can't be that and be what I'm trying to be.
What was that they wanted you to be?
Um,
At 5?
a part of their religion.
Hmm.
They
Oh,
were
Was
very
that
devout
Christians?
in religion.
Christian.
Yes,
Did,
a branch of Christianity, yes.
at one point, did you become a
Baptist.
Muslim?
At one
Baptist.
point, I became several religions because that's the only way you can really find out what's going on in a religion.
Bro, I just got the motherfucking goosebumps, bro. Shout out to that nigga speaking some real shit. This is exactly what the fuck I be talking about when I be talking about the people that I know, how I came up to and shit. Quick backstory, obviously motherfuckers came up Christian and shit. That's common in America. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the majority of the world if you look at it. But it's just like, bro, like, you don't have to follow a doctrine, a book telling you how to act of some shit that's already innate within you, bro. Like, that's some real shit.
Religion is not something that you can just study the books about it and now you know about them. I
It's
had to
living.
be a member of the Fruit of Islam in order to know. Minister Farrakhan calls me his son. I was not regular even in that endeavor just because whoever the true God is, I don't play about him. And I
Real
understand that
shit.
regardless of
There you
what you
go.
choose to call him, it's the same entity.
I
And
fucks with that.
once you
I
study all
fucks
of the
with that.
religions, you find out that nobody's really disagreeing with anybody.
Thank you.
The Jews don't
Thank you.
believe this whole set of things that
Thank you.
Christians don't, and Muslims.
It's pretty much
I
all pretty much this.
Why are people so afraid of Farrakhan?
Had to spark up on him.
Well,
Had to spark up on him.
if you had the ability to control the black people on this planet, there isn't anything that you couldn't take, dismantle, destroy, or interrupt if you could mobilize black people.
I swear to God, that's some real
Part
shit.
of the ops agenda,
That's some
a
real
part
shit.
of their modus operandi, is to find out which one of you niggas is a potential leader. And if you are, then we begin a work of progress on your life, which will make people get off of that. It's a part of it, as much as in any defense you.
And I'm glad he brought that up. That's making me think of a few people out here now. It's like putting in what I call the Lord's work, like just doing like righteous acts of God. You got Rizza Islam doing his thing, putting the people on. You know what I'm saying? You got all these black scholars. You got Kwaba Kemme. You got Phil Valentine. Like, bro, if y'all ever seen Phil Valentine's tapes, bro, he got so much information of the etherics and all of that shit, spiritual shit, the earthly plane, how it all ties together. And he explains it so perfectly. Y'all gotta really check out some Phil Valentine shit if you can find it on YouTube, because a lot of his shit got snubbed from YouTube, bro. He used to have a shit ton of videos across the motherfucker that was back from the 90s. I was watching this shit all through like 2000 and I started like in 2011, 2012. And they started pulling this shit off the web like around 2018, 2019 and shit. I was pissed, bro, but Phil Valentine's definitely one of them scholars you gotta check out, folks. Phil Valentine. There's so many other people, bro. Shahrazad Ali, shout out to the sister. Frances Cress Welsing, RIP to that sister. There's so many great people that we have in our community with that knowledge. What's his name? Dr. Layla Africa. Shout out to him. RIP to that brother. He had a whole book out explaining a lot of shit with the foods and how it coincides with the body. And there's a lot of science into it. Y'all definitely got to check him out if y'all haven't already.
You're trying to figure out which way this dude is likely to go so I can rip that ball. It's the same.
Yeah. Farrakhan is a polarizing individual. A lot of people really, I do believe, don't.
I'm going to let this
really
play while I go
understand.
to the bathroom.
I think that there are people who gets the message. This is what frightens them, is because they know, as you alluded to, they know what he's capable of doing. You know, uniting black people and guiding and leading black people in the right way.
There's not been a successful one of those yet. So just like if you're a rapper, any rapper can get hit. Yeah, we don't have we can go through 300 years of history and look for all the black people that fit the description you just said. They never make it.
Yeah. Which is why I believe that they should stop trying to make it. I really do believe that, it's each one reach one, teach one, but the leadership is in yourself. Like, all of us are capable. Well, not all of us, but many of us are capable of being a leader. Like, instead of sitting around just waiting on one person to be that leader, how about...
Well said. Well said. But in real time, being the leader of yourself gets you nothing. The people demand to be led, regardless.
And I heard what Willie D said while I was up in there taking the piss. He said sometimes it's best, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but I heard what he said. Sometimes you just don't need to be a leader. We can lead ourselves. Like you just don't need to be out in the open where everybody can be like, oh, we following him. You know what I'm saying? Because you get too much traction, you get too much heat, and then you have motherfuckers like these internet conglomerate shadow banning you and doing all types of weird shit like that, you know. So with that, it's kind of crazy that it is true. There's a lot of truth to that, bro. It's like you damn near gotta keep shit in secrecy. Because once they know that you know and everybody agreeing with you, following you, got this big ass following, unless you doing some bullshit, not even to discredit the people that's doing this, but like gamers and shit like that and fucking people that just want to hop online and do skits. They don't look at you as a threat. That's why they doing that shit. That's why they allow you to get so much views, so many fucking views, so much clout. Because you're not deemed as a threat. But just imagine if you took that shit, made motherfuckers laugh, but it was a lot of truth in your shit. They'll still ban you. So you either gotta be one way or the other. You can't be too serious. You just have to be a mimic, a clown, basically, in order to get ahead in this world. In order to get the views that you want, in order to get the message out there how you want to, you have to do it in a different way. Because once they own to you and they know that you that real motherfucker that just give it to them raw, they're gonna try to stop you. But I mean, try to stop you. It's like they tried to stop Rizza Islam. He got his own website. He on different media platforms, but the main ones they took him off. They try to ban him from, like YouTube, like this shit here. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's wild shit, man.
There's not 13 shepherds and all these sheep. Why? Because it's unnecessary. Just one. Just one that has the connection with the sheep, which allows the sheep who has a brain about that small to be able to just focus on eating grass and not worry about falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
We have the desire as humans to be led. We want to be led into battle. We want to be led into the football game. This is all because this is
That's
how
real
we
shit.
are wired. The cheerleaders and the pomp
That's
and
real.
circumstance, that goes back to the times of first humanity because we do need that.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about a myriad of leaders. You're not just talking about a
Yeah,
single
by
individual.
nature, we do that by default. You see certain people, what we would deem as the alphas, basically. The motherfuckers that's about leadership, that can execute, do certain things. They don't get the respect they need because the world has become so fucking weak and damaged. So fucking, just so weak. So soft. You ain't allowed to say certain words. You gotta refer to motherfuckers as they or them. The fact that they actually putting this shit on a fucking job application is insane. All of this crazy ass shit. Like, bruh, you can't be serious, bro. And it's hard being a motherfucking authentic, realist motherfucker. A motherfucker that's legitimately seeing shit for what it is and ain't got the rose colored glasses on, can actually see shit for what it is. And can see through shit. Like working in the corporate world, all this fake ass energy that you around constantly. It's like, how fucking, like, are you serious? I get it. This world was made for the weak to thrive, bro, and for the strong to be put down and basically washed the fuck out so they can continue with their fucking agenda. Plain and simple.
Right.
And I see a lot of people just be sitting back waiting on a Messiah. They're waiting on that one person. And
But
That's
they
you.
are too, though.
That's you.
who's that?
Look
The
at my
other
Facebook
side is
page.
far more diligent about
You
looking
are your only
for
salvation.
that
Ain't no
Messiah
second coming.
than we are.
Understand this shit.
Because they know where to look. You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them?
They looking for a fucking
You would
leader.
think if you didn't like something, why would you
Right.
be paying attention
Looking
to
for a
it?
leader.
I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
What's the answer?
The answer is the liar knows what lie he told. You see what I'm saying? So even if I made it deceitful and I made you think that the answer is over here, but the answer is really over here, I'm still going to be looking over here me the one that tricked, because I know this is the right answer. Black people have lost their identity, but our oppressors have not lost our identity. That's just why they chopped those noses off of the Pharaoh and the
Talk
Sphinx
your shit, bruh.
in Egypt in the first
Talk
place.
your shit,
Is
bruh.
because without this nose, we can tell you this is whoever it is.
I swear to God, bro. I hate to keep cutting off this video, bro. Pausing and shit. But dog, I'm looking at my phone, bro. And it was one point in time, like earlier, well, late last year, middle of last year, 2023 and shit. I seen this post on my Facebook come across my feed and shit, and you know it's designed like that because, bro, they be putting certain shit in your face because they know what they want you to react to, whether good or bad. Now check this out. It was this page where it was like all of these Egyptians and, oh yeah, we're the original Egyptians and shit. And they posting our great ancestors showing these updated European-esque versions of the fucking pharaohs and shit. And I'm just like, you motherfuckers came from the Middle East, which ain't too far from Egypt, okay? That's why they call them gypsies, nigga. The fake Egyptians, bro. These motherfuckers did. They came over there to Kemet, nigga, and basically raped and pillaged their way to have their bloodline on that soil so that they can say we're Egyptian. There's a reason why the motherfucking pyramids ain't got vegetation around them. Y'all done sucked all the fucking energy out with y'all badass fucking ways, and y'all want to claim Egypt? Here, have it. You can fucking have it. But you can't say the same about the pyramids down in fucking, in the Amazons down in Central America. The Olmecs, the Aztecs and shit. What do you say about that then? Oh, they weren't black shit. One of them motherfucking statues looked like Biggie Smalls. Stop playing with me. That's as about African as it gets. That's about as black as it gets, bro. Back to Egypt. These motherfuckers on this page, on this Facebook page, and then trying to shit on black people and laugh at it when they post to say, oh, this is originally our shit. You motherfuckers are from the Middle East, and they just try to dismiss that shit. Like, nigga, your roots ain't in Africa. Your roots is a little bit further east of Africa. Not to say that y'all wasn't migrants there. Y'all didn't migrate towards that motherfucker, but y'all came and y'all took, y'all stole, y'all raped, and destroyed the fucking land. That's what happened. Back to what Katt was saying. We can tell you whoever the fuck you are because we blew the nose off. It's pretty odd. Black folks probably got the most distinctive type of nose on this planet, bro. You know a nigga when you see one. Stop playing.
But with that nigga nose, it can only be niggas. Why would somebody vandalize a whole face and only vandalize one part? Nobody wanted to knock an eye off or take an ear off or no chins missing. Nope, just the nose.
No chins missing.
Because it's a brand. It's a brand. All right, go ahead.
You have an uncanny way of thinking outside of the box, and you are very good at breaking things down like you just did. You understand consequences and repercussions very well.
Okay.
So my question to you is, why are you such a habitual line stepper? Why do you cross that line so often when you know what the repercussions and consequences are going to be?
Because what the fuck is to fear? Even death. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta cross that shit.
For example.
To see what the fuck gonna happen. There's a lot of shit just be a bunch of smoke any fucking way.
Suge got arrested. Right? You and Suge got arrested. Is that true?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Like, and
what were we doing?
Allegedly it had something to do with like some type of photography, camera or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm just sure. I'm just saying this is what I read.
Well, I'll
19
tell you
convictions.
and you tell me,
no
then
arrest.
Does that change how you frame this?
Okay.
So, we have a meeting with a hologram company, which is going to go into a licensing deal on some holograms. This is in Beverly Hills. So now there's a rodeo, and behind that is an alleyway where you park your vehicles. That's where we are. Suge has brought his son with him who's 5 years old. And before we go into this meeting, Suge's son runs behind the dumpster and urinates, and a lady films his penis out, peeing behind the dumpster, and then says, "Oh, I thought that was Katt's kid."
He ain't got no reason to just be making up shit, bro. I honestly believe that some shit like that could have happened, bro. Because if you already got some type of heat, not saying this in a bad way, but you already a celebrity, you're always gonna have some type of motherfucker around you trying to record you. You know what I'm saying? You see the videos of some random fan saying, "Oh, I caught so and so at the airport or wherever the fuck they was at," and they're like, "Oh, they were mad, they were upset." Like, bro, they human beings too. They don't want to be followed around being fucking recorded all day. Are you crazy? And that's even crazier for a bitch to be recording a minor, essentially, pissing behind a damn dumpster. Regardless, it's a fucking minor. Lady, why the fuck are you filming it? That's some weird shit.
So yeah, that's what happened.
See, man.
Fucking
This is
So
why.
understand, we were facing 20 years,
Yeah.
Suge and I. 20 years for that. And if it wasn't for the fact that this is Beverly Hills and it's all on camera, they had no problem sending us up the river when we couldn't have possibly done what was being said. That lady said that she got jumped on by me.
Allegedly.
So you see what you just did?
Allegedly.
You just clarified a huge, misconception about, the events of that evening or whatever.
Yeah, but remember, it went to court.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just my word.
Yeah.
They had to play
It's
the
on
video in court, which showed that her altercation wasn't with a man at all.
But the trip part about it is that when people print it, when the media,
Yeah.
mainstream media, put it out there, they don't add that piece. They
No,
just say,
nor do they make a retraction.
Right.
Nor do they say, "Hey, that thing we told you about that
Right.
guy,
That-
turns out it was nothing."
No.
Understand,
Stick with the guns. Yep.
I got 15 cases that were dismissed. That should be talked about. Why would 15 cases be dismissed? Because you were so sure you had what you were looking at. Because every city I go to, I'm the nigga with the best car. It's probably smoke coming out that car. It's probably girls gathering around that car. I look like the plug. I get it. And you've probably already hurt me by the time you find out who I actually am.
right. See, because of that clarity you just provided,
Yes.
is the reason why I want to know. I think the world want to know what happened between you and Ali Sadiq.
Ooh.
I know you said
The
you didn't
world
want to talk
couldn't
about it.
possibly want to know
wanna
that.
know,
He's
man.
not
We wanna-
famous enough for the world to want to know that.
At
That's
least pretty
Because
famous.
That's fucked up. Apparently it's true. Cause I'm like, who? At least I think I heard that name before, but I don't even know who that is.
my side of the world doesn't want to know that. See,
Well, my side of the world.
here's the thing.
What happened, man?
A lot of times, what liars do first is they set up a narrative and a scenario. Like Michael Blackson just got on national TV and told people, "Yeah, I got a beef with Katt Williams, and Katt is mad at me about this, and because I said this, and I didn't even mean it like that." And the whole time, he's never talked to me. That's how he feels. He's heard I'm angry. I've not had a conversation with him. It's the same with your Ali Sadiq. If it wasn't for the information that I know in my intel, I would be a fan of his like everybody else. Who wouldn't be a fan of a young
What did
black
he say, though?
storyteller that's done time and loves his family and is a hometown guy? Like, why would he ever have any enemies in comedy? It's ludicrous. But if you pick the actual king, then make sure that your story's correct. And unfortunately, his story's not correct. No matter what he says, he never met me. He made it disrespectful that a security guard that was 6'7" reached over him to pay him, not mentioning the fact that he got paid for not doing anything.
Well, let's start at the beginning of the Reliant thing.
I don't know if I wanna.
I'm
But
gonna
go
start,
ahead.
and then you can do what you want to do.
Fair enough.
But I think for the sake of the audience knowing, just
Tell
have
them
an
who Ali
idea of what
Sadiq
we're
is
talking
first.
about. Ali Sadiq is a comedian from Houston that's based in Houston.
A very fine comedian.
Very fine comedian.
Yes.
Now, Ali said that he went to Reliant Arena and he was on the same show as you. He showed up, and the security stopped him from entering the building. And then somebody told him Katt didn't want you to come in. And then at some point, somebody else came and gave him a check. Another security person reached over somebody's shoulder and gave him a check. He said that the people that were the working security locked arms to prevent him from walking inside of the building. And he thought that, you had a problem with him. And he said he didn't know why you had a problem with him. And to this day, he don't know why you have a problem with him. That was the
It'd be nice if that was the story. So now, if that's the story, then let me see if I got this correct. A guy I've never met was supposed to be doing a show with me. And I got so angry, even though I hadn't met him, that I had security keep him out of the building. See, that's the problem with lies. They're faulty from their inception, sir. I'm the person in the story that doesn't have a grudge to feel. I don't care why I didn't like Katt Williams. I would get to the bottom of it. This is not one of those stories. First of all, the actual truth of this matter is, every city that I go to, I already have the comedians who are opening up for me. Not just this tour, but for the 17 100 city tours previous to this. I never go to the city and go, hey, do you guys have some comics here? I'd like to add them to my show. I just don't do it. I travel with the comedians that are coming to your city. We're one unit and one team when we come. That is to let you understand that no comic was fin to come join us that evening because there isn't space for it. I still have to do an hour at the end of this. There's a limited amount of time. So we could just start there. Second of all, I don't care where you're from, what the venue is, how cool you are with the people that work there. Katt Williams show means Katt Williams show. That means don't nothing move but the money. There ain't no loud talking and voice raising and, how dare you? How dare you? Let me look on the advertisements and see, do I see your name or face, sir, whoever you may be? Where would you even get the entitlement to be having this question? This is like me insisting that the Lakers put me on as a starter. And I won't take no for an answer. It's ridiculous. You don't even play in our league. And that's before I knew who you were. Now that I know who you are, I'm just ashamed because you took something personal that couldn't have been personal. I didn't meet you. That's how it would have gone if I wasn't there, because the truth is, I wasn't there. All of this happened before I got there.
What happened with the check when the security guy gave him
when
the check?
when I asked what the person had said, I said, well, I don't understand. I don't understand why he's so angry. What did he say to you? He said, I'm supposed to be on this show. I said, well, maybe he was expecting to get some sort of a payment. And now he thinks he doesn't get to get paid because we already have a tour. I wouldn't want that. Pay him for performing. So he got the check of the performer. This is what he's angry about. Imagine the audacity. Remember, your story is that I'm kicking you the fuck out. Get out and lock arms and don't let him in. And paying you? Make it make sense, King. So, either you're smaller than I think or I'm bigger. Either one. Like, you can't keep positioning the narrative Because that's all this is. This is so that in a conversation in America, there'll be something where he and I are evenly linked. And only people in his hometown are floating that narrative. I'm really him.
You don't believe that there's under any circumstance.
Bro, that nigga shitted on dude so smooth, bro. Said, nigga, we are not supposed to be mentioned in the same sentence. Fuck is you talking about, nigga? And that's another thing too, going back to when you say like how you express the narrative. So this kind of made me think too about back to when he was on Shannon Sharp show. Talking about I put in a contract, I can't be in a movie with Ricky Smiley unless he wears a dress. Like, you didn't put that in your contract, bro. Now I think you just capping with that shit. Cause ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way, bro, that you made that stipulation. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Now that was a lot. That was cap, nigga. But all the other shit he was spitting was real, you know. But you know, if you're gonna be real raw, authentic, be that 100%. Don't leave people thinking that that was really the stipulation when you just throwing shade and shit. That kind of throws people off, you know. Haven't believed it, but not me. I can see through that shit just like you can. I can too, brother. Let's get back to it.
Circumstances that you and Ali can come to a resolution, just be cool. Like,
You've just talked to me. You know I don't have a bone in this.
Yeah.
I don't have a bone in this.
So if I got him on the phone, you talk to him?
This nigga.
I would have gave him the celebrity boxing match he asked for if I thought he was a celebrity.
Oh, come on, man. I know Ali is a celebrity. Come on.
Shit, no, bro.
I didn't mean that disparagingly.
Yeah.
I meant that in ticket sales, my nigga. Ticket sales. That's what I meant. I mean, I'm doing 7,000 in your hometown while you go do 300. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm talking statistics. I'm talking about the biggest and baddest thing going. And you, a person trying to get in, why would you be mad? It's ridiculous. I'm offended. I'm offended. Why? Because even if it's celebrity boxing, I need you to sell tickets too. I need you to sell these pay-per-view numbers, my nigga. I know I'm bringing it. It's more people that want to see me get laid out by you. And the fact that an upstanding and righteous gentleman like yourself is in that position with the only thing trying to be righteous in our lane is just more machinations of the devil. You should have a much better backstory when you pick me as an opponent.
You know what, man? I'm glad you at least addressed it. Because
when you talk to him and tell him what the truth is, he won't be able to refute it. I told you earlier, he doesn't know this. How could he know? It's okay for you to think that I'm that way, but there are 30,000 known comedians in America that you could have went to, and they would have told you, this is against my character. I am known for confronting my issue head up, be it Satan or his affiliates. I don't care if you 6'6". I don't care if it's 5 of you. I don't care if I'm guaranteed an L. I don't care if you put a gun in my face. I don't care about none of that. I care about doing the right thing as I see it in that moment. Yeah.
Man, how did you get on in the first place as far as like with the movie thing? Like, I know I'm skipping over the comedy, but how did you get on with the movie thing? Like, specifically, I want to know about Money Mike. I want to know how you got that role.
Right. So here's the whole thing. Liars always come up with terrible lies. So Ricky Smiley says, yeah, Katt was supposed to play the Santa Claus, and I was supposed to play the pimp. Liars always have ridiculous narratives. Nobody in America can imagine that a real movie studio.
I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Smiley pretty much broke it down perfectly. If y'all watched that, he pretty much broke it down, and he actually had like one of the producers or one of his agents or something call into the show to confirm, and it was basically saying like, yeah, initially you were supposed to play the pimp, but because Mike, and because Katt Williams stepped in and he gave his audition and he said, you know what, basically I'm gonna write my own lines for this. They was like, well, shit, we'll take you over him because we think you will shine better in this role. You know what I'm saying? So once again, like, yeah, I don't think anybody would take Ricky Smiley serious as a pimp in a movie. We know he's like a Christian type of comic and shit. He do the grandma skits and the Lil Daryl and shit, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, like that's his ace in the hole. So yeah, might as well let him play a dope thing or some shit. He would be good at playing it. No shade to him at all, but I get what Katt was saying, but to make it seem like he was never offered the role, that's literally all we saying. Was he not offered the role first or not? He probably was. And then you came in and you said, look, I'm gonna do it this way. And they was like, cool, shit, we think you fit better anyway. You got the swag of a pimp and all of that shit, so let's have you play. Simple as that.
Studio would cast 5'5", 145-pound Katt Williams as a fucking Santa Claus, number one. Number two, Ricky Smiley was finna play a pimp? Really? Ricky Smiley has played a woman more times than Ricky Smiley has played a man. He's played Bernice Jenkins 5 times. I got it in my contract that I don't work with Ricky Smiley unless he's playing Miss Bernice Jenkins.
Get out of here, man. That's in your contract for real?
I make my contracts, sir.
Oh,
when you're the master of your masters, everything else is subservient. That's why we have control. That's why we're hated, because there's something to hate. But anyway.
But I'm gonna let you have that, bro.
Money Mike, this is my first audition, not just my first movie. It's my first audition. The reason it was so great is because they allowed me to do what I wanted to do, and I needed to do things. So I needed to pick the wardrobe for the character. So Money Mike's wardrobe was impeccable because I designed it, and they made it so. I picked out the car, the color of the car. They had a guy playing a pimp. I need this to be an actual pimp. We need Bishop Magic Don Juan. Everything I had to do, me and KD Albert, who played Donna, and Terry Crews, it was all of our first project, and my job was to make sure that we came off as if we were seasoned actors. And so I put everything I had into that movie, to the point where in the script, Money Mike is raped in the bathroom. Katt Williams changed that. Why? Because it's no way. What do you mean, Katt? There's no way. What are you saying? I'm saying in a place that small, I'm not rapeable. I don't care what has to happen. That's what will happen. And so that's how it changed and became a great movie. And just the thought process that maybe Ricky Smiley was going to do that, it is laughable. But yeah, that was going to be my only movie. So I'm
not gonna hold you, bro. Just imagine if Ricky Smiley, let's say in an alternate universe, Ricky Smiley did get that role. And that whole scene in the bathroom where this nigga grabbed Damon's nuts with a fucking vice grip didn't happen, and the nigga actually got raped. That would have soured the movie out a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. Just imagine if that shit were to have been a scene produced. Like, oh damn, this nigga got shit done in the bathroom. It's like, nah, y'all ain't even have to throw that shit up there to be real. But it worked out perfectly, bro. That whole thing worked out perfectly, bro. Had Katt Williams running off at the end and shit, running that fofo down the block, nigga, running fast as hell, bro. That was probably Bro, they probably had a motherfucking Mustang for the car using to basically carry that motherfucking camera back. How fast that nigga was running, bro. That nigga Katt got some speed too, bro. I seen that video of him running that gym, nigga. That nigga fast as fuck, bro.
I had to do everything that I could do to make sure that it went the way I needed it to, and I've done that in every one of the 60 movie roles that I've done and the 50 network television roles.
Man, I'm glad you stood on that, man, because it's a lot of people who would not have. People get blinded by that bread, man, or that opportunity.
Right.
And for you to stand on that, that says a lot. Because I know Terry Crews would have probably enjoyed it, you know, in real life.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Now,
That's fucked up.
how did you get this knack for comedy in the first place? Like you had a pretty tumultuous childhood. Like, how do you pivot from that and get into comedy?
I didn't find it to be tumultuous.
So at the time, you was living it. You like you didn't see it.
Yeah,
like
this is
that.
not tumultuous.
Okay.
But your question was, how did
you find comedy?
a lot of times you have the true appreciation for something when you're not trying to do it. You just
That's
like
a
it.
fact.
So that's the relationship that I had with music, and it was the relationship that I had with comedy. So musically, I could listen to Pearl Jam and the Ghetto Boys. Like, I could listen to Nine Inch Nails, and I could listen to Prince, and I could do that. And comedically, I found that I could do that too. It didn't matter what the comedy person looked like, or how they were built, or where they were from. If they were funny, I was going to be able to tell. So I understood that Don Knotts was out there working his ass off as Barney Fife. I understood he wasn't doing the same job as the rest of them. I understood that laughter is an emotion, and anytime you can tap an emotion, that's very powerful, regardless of what emotion you're tapping.
When you're tapping these
True.
emotions, before you deliver the joke, are you cognizant of what it's going to take to like deliver that joke? Like, are you already knowing that I know for a fact I don't have to practice this? They're going to be with this right here. When I say this, oh, I'm going to get them.
As a comedian, I have the best fan base in the world, like documented.
You do.
The slight amount of advertisement that they allow me to do, and the fact that in a place as glorious as Houston, they pack the arena to the rafters, is based upon the fact that I, in 1995, started a conversation with a fan base which was maybe 5 people. And through this entire time, I've kept up the same conversation with the same people as they grow. And I'm letting you see me win. I'm letting you see me lose. I'm never allowing the product to be affected by what's going on, because this is the greatest relationship here. So, consequently, bam, they know some things when I come to town. They know I'm finna bring the baddest comedians with me. That's who's gonna be opening up. They know this. all over the country. And then they know that whatever it is Katt's going to talk about for an hour, they know he did not talk about this the last time he was here. They know
Man,
that.
how in the hell do comedians get away with that anyway? Because I'm not going to see the same comedian tell the same jokes, 100 times in a row.
You let a rapper rap the same songs, though. And you let a singer sing the same songs, the classics, and you'll allow that. And so
Yeah, but funny is supposed to be spontaneous. So that's the difference.
well, understand that comedy has its roots.
You can't compare music to comedy, bro. I'm sorry. You can have a jam that's 30, 40 years old. If you come out on stage playing some brand new shit that no one knows the lyrics to or the beat, how it's gonna transition, how would, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. But I don't get what Katt's saying right here, but I mean, to each his own. That's how you think. You're entitled to that, you know?
Long before social media. So before social media, you might have heard that this comedian is funny, right? And somebody might have told you what he said, but it didn't sound that funny to you. They just told you what he said. But when you see him in person, oh, he's hilarious. And so comedy always had a cycle where you showed the whole circuit your body of work. It's just comedians had gotten so lazy that they were doing one great set that they had on Comic View or Def Jam, and they were touring that for 15 years without changing it. And so we made it a part of our effort to push the fact that you should be writing new material and shaming the community into it by just, I'm going to keep putting out these specials and this new material. How long are you going to continue to tell these jokes? Because in a minute, the audience is going to be like, no, they got to say something new. And eventually the audience did do that. And
Well, some audiences show up and they want you to say the old joke. They demand that you tell the old joke.
I don't have not one of those people in my fan base because they know better. They know that I would never let you pay me so you can hear some shit I already said. I respect you too much for that. What you gonna get from me is brand new. This is new.
Right now you have 12 comedy specials.
Okay.
In the grand scheme of new shit and comedy, I definitely feel exactly where you're coming from with that, but you damn sure can't compare it to music. But on Katt's point, it's like, yeah, it is a lot of comedians out here that recycle their old shit, and a prime example of one of them is Eddie Griffin. Now, he's a good comedian. He spread a lot of fucking truth and real shit in his stand-ups, and I think his best one to date was Voodoo Child. It's an older one, but that was probably his best work because every stand-up after that, it was damn near like a few same bits up in there. I'm kind of like, all right, so where's the new shit at? But I don't know, bro. I mean, respect to Eddie Griffin, bro. He spits a lot of real shit, a lot of mind-opening shit in his stand-ups and shit. But Voodoo Child was probably his best one. That shit was funny as hell, bro. And that was when all that shit was fresh. It was brand new. He didn't reuse it. But then you started seeing the ones later, like you can tell him I said it. And it was another one that he had, but it was kind of like the same jokes. And I'm like, okay. Same with Paul Mooney. The exact same as Paul Mooney, bro. He had, I forget the last stand-up he had. The grandfather of comedy, I think it was. And rest in peace to the brother, but it was a lot of shit that he would say in some stand-ups that it'd be like, bro, this is recycled material. Like, you wrote scripts for TV shows and shit for Living Color and all that shit, bro. Like, I know for damn sure you can come up with new material, bro. It ain't nothing. But some comedians just be like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna recycle the shit. This audience ain't here yet. But it's kind of like, if you gonna do a special, you gotta think about it. This is gonna come out in succession to your older specials. So they gonna watch the new ones and they gonna be like, bro, he said this in the other one. It's gonna be kind of like dry. It's like, oh my God, can you stop telling the same fucking joke? So I respect Katt the fuck out. I respect the fuck out of Katt. for that. For him to actually be like, you know what, I'm gonna give you something new, and I swear to God, he ain't lying either, bro. Every one. Every last one of his fucking specials, bro. They all been different. Ain't been no recycled material or nothing. And that's how it's supposed to be in comedy, like George Carlin was. He had a special damn near every fucking year, and every year was something different. Respect.
Is there a magic number in mind, or you just want to just keep running to make sure you got the all-time number and that's secure? Oh, you already at the top. You got you got more
I'm
than
in
anybody?
no way. I'm in no way counting numbers.
You've done.
I'm saying if 12 is the most, if 12 was the most, there's not a number because I'm not putting a number to it. But
It's gonna keep going, I guess.
I've been special that many times for an hour.
17 tours, 100 cities. That is a lot of work. That's enough work for a few lifetimes. Most comedians won't even get
17 tours in 100 cities. So wait, you doing like 17 shows and like, I don't get it. What, 17 tours in 100 cities? Am I doing the math right, bro? Cause hold up, or maybe it was just misspoken or something. And I'm not catching it. But if you got 17 tours in 100 cities, how? You know what?
100 cities. Well, most comedians ain't gonna do that one time. You're like, and how do you continue to come up with this new material? Because you do new material every single time you show up. That's crazy.
It's a new show every single time I show up.
Man, that is crazy. I'm a comedy connoisseur. I follow comedy. Most of the comics that are the top dogs right now, as far as like in some of our heroes in comedy, I was there when they were like working on their first jokes.
Yeah.
I was watching them and supporting them way back then. But that is a tough feat to be able to do something like that. And I think that the reason why
Not in 24 years.
Yeah. I think the reason why people like you is so much what you do is you resonate with them so much is like what you just said. You show them the good and the bad side of you, but also you're talented. You're very talented, but at the same time you do show the good and the bad. And it's something appealing about being transparent to an extent.
Oh, not just to an extent.
Okay, it just dawned on me. Because I'm really thinking 17 tours in 100 cities. Okay. So he had 17 tours that he went through 100 cities with. So tour 1, we going to hit these 100 cities. Tour 2, we going to hit these cities. I get it. Okay.
To the utmost. As soon as you as a person decide that you're not going to lie anymore, and that whatever problem that you have, you're going to deal with that problem right then where it presents itself, it'll show you a whole new side of you. It's very important. It's very important. When you lie and allow lies, for some people it's just, I'm just a little delusional. No, it's dangerous for you to do that to yourself. It's very unnecessary.
Real shit.
For you to.
Because when that bubble get popped, bro, that motherfucker gonna go insane. Like, there's a lot of people out here, dog, and I swear it's like they try to come off like the most well-spoken and prim and proper, and then it's like, come to find out when you start watching their patterns and shit, or if you actually around this motherfucker in real life, you will see how fucked up and how contradictory they is. I've dealt with a lot of people. I have people you know, in proximity. I'm not gonna say too close, but people in proximity that just has this about them where it's like they wanna put on, I don't even want to say a show, but it's like they talk real elegant. It's like the talk game good, but the action game ain't hit no shit, you know. It's scary to watch, it is. I swear to God, that shit is some horrifying shit.
You was on this radio station in Atlanta, and this host made a joke about you, and you ate a like killed a man like for like I don't know how long that was, but man, I was like time out, call the police, something, stop this slaughter, man. You was like you really,
Call the
I mean, you
police
really
is
did a bad,
crazy, nigga.
and you didn't. I don't think
Hold
you
on.
cursed one time.
I was just going to
I
say,
don't- yeah,
I was going to say, be very careful
yeah.
when you say how badly I did
No,
her,
no, no.
because I never called her out
I
of her
know,
name.
but that's what I'm saying.
No,
That-
I was very composed.
That's my point.
But let me explain it.
You're
Let me
one
give you
of
the
the few.
exclusive.
No, let me make the point.
Okay.
You're one of the few like only you and Bruce I've ever seen do that before. Like destroy a heckler or someone that was challenging you or whatever. Destroy them like I mean for like several minutes. I mean Bruce killed this chick for about I don't know, man, about 25, 30 minutes one night
God
in
damn.
Houston. And I
God
never
damn.
seen anybody else do that but you. Like 25, I mean, just back to back, gut busting, like same person,
right.
no cuss words.
Yeah.
I had never seen that before. So how were you able to maintain your composure for that long?
Well, a very interesting thing happens when you try to trap something that's bigger than your trap. So imagine you set out a trap for a turtle and a rhinoceros steps into it.
This nigga
It's
still
gonna be a whole different
he's
situation.
still
now.
throwing shots at her, bro.
So this lady behind the scenes
Bro,
is
still
begging
throwing
me to
shots,
come
bro.
into
This nigga is
this
funny as fuck.
interview that I've not scheduled, that I don't want to do, that I'm not dressed for, that nobody's called me about. She just wants it. To the point where she says, "Katt, come on, you just want to end me for the city. I just want to give you your flowers. Well, I won't talk about kids. I won't talk about no jail. I won't talk about." This is the conversation she has with me, and then goes in that room
That's straight
and
when she
doesn't
jumped
mention
out.
the Emmy, and immediately begins to, because this is a comedian. You're trying to undermine me. Atlanta is a heavily LGBTQ plus positive city, and the fact that you having a heavy gay fan base would try to degrade me, a heterosexual, by making it seem like I'm gay. Gay people don't feel that way about me. Why would you? So it was a terrible thing that she found herself in, and comedically, you're outmatched. My defense is impenetrable. My offense will have the precise amount of viciousness that's necessary. If that means no cussing, that's fine. I don't want to talk to you and hurt heavy-set women's feelings, or dark-skinned women's feelings, or women who wear wigs feelings. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm bantering with you because you keep acting like you're qualified to do that.
Fair game.
Yeah. So,
Fair game.
it was a setup. I'm always going to prevail if I'm being set up.
You think Buddy was in on it? Her co-host? You think he was in on that? He didn't appear to be in on it.
No. Because here's the whole thing. He kept trying to get her to pull the plug on this, and she kept not. So she didn't understand even after we cut. She didn't understand what had happened. She still thought that she had been victorious, and yeah.
And then she tried to play the victim.
No, she played the victim. Her husband was willing to kill one of the greatest comedians to. Yeah, I'm saying. And remember, all of this has to happen. I have to allow it to happen. I have to also preserve my life. And then, after I do all of that, then I have to not press charges on you to these police as if a crime has not been committed upon me.
Oh yeah, I forgot, bro. He did. Oh boy, that bitch husband did come up there and try to like came up there with a gun and shit. Like, bro, he a comedian. He cracking jokes. Yo, bitch wanted to jump in and try to do some fly shit, and she got shut down. And you feeling some type of way and so insecure about her, like everybody see her face. Well, I mean, the clip went viral and we got video of it, but the bitch should have been in a position to be doing that in the first place, bro. You should have had better coaching. But she probably wear the pants. That's why you came up there trying to pop Katt Williams instead of coming up there trying to rough him up. And you already a big motherfucker as it is. It's kind of like, are you serious, bro? That shit crazy.
A pimp named Slickback. Ah, man.
Thank you for saying the whole thing.
Look, man.
Like a Tribe Called
You got to say the
Quest.
whole thing. You got to say the whole
That is
thing.
correct.
A pimp named Slickback.
Yes.
Man, that is one of the most iconic roles in television history. How did that come about?
Dumb people love dumb people, and geniuses try to find people that are on their mental platitude. So, Aaron Magruder is one of the finest black writers that
Absolutely.
we've had.
Yes.
And the fact that he started his journey in the real trenches, writing for newspapers and getting syndicated across the country before he ever came to the next platform is what made him so formidable. So it was a joy to be able to work with him. Just like, when I do work with Donald Glover, we get the Emmy. Like, it's because you're dealing with compatible wavelengths. Like Donald Glover told me, Katt, here's a script. If you do this role right, you'll win an Emmy for it. I said, that's the only way I know to do it is right. And won the Emmy.
Well, I know there's a lot of advantages to doing what you do, being in the entertainment industry, but what's like the biggest thing that you can't stand about this industry?
It's gonna be here for a whole nother hour.
Nothing. I like it.
Shit, I don't know who you think you're talking to.
I like it.
Now you now let's
I love my op as myself.
yeah.
I think it's great. On our side of things, it's flourishing. It's never been better. All the people on our side are seeing that prayers do work and that you really have control of your mind more than you think you do. And if you could somehow possibly stop thinking the way you do and think another way, it might help you. And you'll know right away if it does. That's the benefit, is each one of these days you're getting could really be the one.
What's one of the wildest things that has happened to you or you've seen happen in your time in this entertainment space?
Yeah, sorry, Vlad. I
Sorry, Vlad.
I ain't seen nothing. I
Hell
collect
no.
the footage, but I haven't seen anything.
That nigga said
You were
sorry,
doing so
Vlad.
good, man. I mean, you was just doing so good, and then all of a sudden you just decided.
Well, no, here's the thing. What you asked was, you said, hey, Wolf, What do you hate about the sheep?
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing. I feel good. I feel like we're in a good position. Everything's gonna be fine. Let's go, Coach Prime.
Yeah. What do you
Hell
think
no.
about
We
Coach
coming.
Prime? What's up with Coach Prime? You have you been out there yet, Colorado?
No, but I've supported from afar.
Yeah.
I'm saying anytime a great individual, regardless of what he does, finds something that he can be great in, like that's gonna work. Like he is a motivating factor and an asset to it. He always has been since the Jerry Curl days. Those are the leaders of men that we discussed earlier. An eternal optimist, someone that's clever and about books and hard work and discipline. Uh, as a black person, we should be so lucky as to have, a black coach like that. And as a non-black person, what a great job.
Man, you just described yourself, except the coach part. And then I take that back. You are a coach
and,
in your own right.
and you as
Yeah.
well. That's the whole thing. Like, these compliments are all shared by all of us who receive them. Like, that's what it's got to be. If you any reflection of me, then that's what it is. That's why in the good book it say, made in God's image. It don't mean you're always going to do that, but it means there's the possibility that you could mirror that.
Yeah. Do you have adopted children?
I'm an empty nester. I have no children at this point. Glory and hallelujah. No, everybody's grown. Yeah, but yeah, I got grandbabies.
You got grandbabies. Okay.
Yeah.
How many?
4.
4. Nice.
All girls.
Oh yeah.
See? That's how you know he's been doing something right.
What are the ages?
Of what?
The girls.
The grandbabies?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a 6, 2 4s, 11 months, and 2.
That's 5.
Yeah. I realized it as you said it. I didn't know how to change the story. Okay, so I got 5 grandkids.
Wait, what do they call you?
I got 5 daughters. I can't get anybody to call me anything that I ask for. They've already made a decision, and that's what they call me. There's nothing I can do about it, and I'm not gonna say what it is. It sounds like stop or something. I don't know.
Right. Well, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man.
I
really
appreciate
do,
you
man.
having me. You're an
yeah.
icon and a legend yourself, and just the fact that you would spend time interviewing others is magnificent. And nobody asks worse questions. You have the worst questions in all of interviewing, and you can count on it. Nobody's gonna mimic your questions. So yeah, it's an honor. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Katt Williams.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No more talk.
Oh yeah. I mean, one thing that we can take away from this is he genuinely him, folks. Nigga been the same since he came in the game, bro. Like, you can't really point no chink in his man's armor outside of, a few little, egotistical type of remarks and shit, like the whole Ricky Smiley in the dress thing. I don't think that shit is in his contract. I'm gonna need if that's the case, bro, let the world see that. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, bro, genuine. Stand on his motherfucking square. He stand on what the fuck he believes in. And I can respect him for that. Definitely. Definitely one of the best in the fucking game. Definitely an all-time great as a comedian. And he be so low-key, bro. They don't even be pushing his shit like that, which is crazy. But definitely check out, definitely I have to check out and see if he came out with any more specials lately. Cause I know he normally be putting out one like damn near every year or every other year or some shit. So I'm gonna have to look and see. But yeah, that was Willie D live interviewing Katt Williams. What did y'all think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, y'all take care. Miller Master, we out.